welcome into your reading. Hope all of you are doing well. Today we are going to do a general message for the month of December. If you were guided to watch this reading anytime outside of December, hopefully there was a reason for that and you do find a message here for you as well. But like most readings that I do, this is intended to provide you with some insight, perspective, clarity, validation, direction. So let's see what's up with the Gemini at this time, please. What is in their personal energies? It relates to their mind, heart, body, and soul. We'll take a few cards for you here. Gemini, please. What is most important for the Gemini to know at this time? Gemini. All right, so first card out is the Page of Cups. First thing I'm feeling with this is you don't know where to start, okay? It feels like something just happened that left you sort of speechless, or you're just in this like dazed out energy, just feeling really blank, a little blah. But it's like, I don't know where to go from here. I have no words, right? Like those moments where it's just like, I'm speechless. Like I have no words. I have no thoughts. Like for some reason, everything has gone blank within your mind at this time. And like I said, there is an energy of starting from the beginning, not having direction as to where to go, you know? Maybe it doesn't feel like you have a lot of inspiration as well. Maybe you can be motivated. I don't know. For some of you, I'm not feeling that you're very motivated, but even if you are, it's just a blank state, not knowing where to start. The Hanged Man here is talking about a pause and putting a stop to something. And then you have the Three of Wands, where this is all very waiting energy. Like something is still, there's no movement, there's no improvement, there's no momentum. The Three of Wands is an energy of waiting for results, or after you have made a decision, after you have put something into place and you set it into motion. The Three of Wands is looking for results here, right? Like what is the payout, or you know, where all that energy that you just put into something, what did you get out of it? And maybe for some of you, you're feeling that you didn't get anything out of this energy, or maybe you feel like you wasted time, you know, days, years, months on a situation, on a project, on a person. And now like there's nothing to show for it, you know? Maybe some of you were making a lot of money. Maybe you're looking at your yearly income or something like that. And it's just like, where did it all go? Right? Like you didn't invest in anything, you know? So there is an element of just like, okay, let's stand still here, figure this out. And now it's like I said, where do we go from here? I think that if you're focused on trying to figure out a plan and put something together, like a strategy or the next step, right? Or trying to figure out what the next goal is now that this thing is gone, I don't think that is the place or the right mentality at this time, because the Hanged Man is saying to have faith and trust in the universe, that let the universe do its thing. Right now, you are meant to surrender, all right? You're meant to release and surrender the control. There's no need to come up with the next thing, especially if you're not feeling it, especially if you're not inspired, or you don't have a concrete vision of what the next thing is, right? There is a blank state here. So it makes me feel like if the Hanged Man is saying to release and surrender, the Page of Cups, with this energy, there is opportunity to look at your environment, look at your surroundings, get out into nature. Think about the people that are in your life, your support system, your family, the people that love you, that you love, you know, your pets, your plants, right? Like your home. If you have children, obviously your children, your partner. But if you are in a little state of depression and you don't know where to go, what to do, There's a reason for that at this time. The inspiration will come, right? That muse, that fire that, we need at times to light under us to get us going, that will come. But at this time, it's not there. And it's supposed to be this way, right? I'm a big believer in we are always exactly where we are supposed to be, So trying to get out of the mindset of like, I need to do something, what is the next thing? I don't have anything to do. I don't have a direction. I don't know where to go. Getting out of that, like busy mind, and trying to stay in this grateful energy, in an energy of looking at your surroundings, at your life, at your environment, and being grateful for the things that you have for this life, really. And, with that will come some healing as well, right? Talk to the universe, right? Go out into nature and just let it know, like, I'm putting this in your hands. I have no direction. Maybe some of you have recently lost something, like a person or a home or a job. I don't know what to do from here, right? This is too stressful. This is too hard. Universe, take the wheel at this point, right? Lead me, send me, guide me where I'm meant to go next. I put it in your hands so you can take that pressure off yourself, take that responsibility off yourself, and just really focus on the healing component of this time that you're in. With this deck, I do get healing with the Three of Wands. The light, in my opinion, the way it's illuminated here does make me feel that there are healing components to this card, and this energy that it brings with it. So again, the waiting, right? The inability to move and get things done, there is positive opportunity in that if you choose to see it from that perspective, if you choose to take advantage of this time and not push it, right? Not resist. If you're too forceful and you're forcing something, it's not genuine, it's not natural, right? So the ability to flow with the moment, right? And be fluid, be versatile, be flexible, not to, like stubborn on one idea or one way of doing something. Be open to ideas, be open to feedback, or, see how other people are doing it. Eventually, the energy for you to go the next phase will come. Eventually, the universe will provide you with your direction or your answer or your message, and then you can take it from there. But you have to be really present, So, yeah, I mean, with this blank state, it also makes me feel like you're making room to incorporate and welcome in something new. Okay. Maybe some of you are going to the water. I would suggest to go toward the water. I would suggest to spend a lot of time with your pets or your children. Remember that they are there. Remember that they exist, right? Like connecting with the pet or connecting with the child really makes you see things from a different perspective, and there is healing in that as well. All right, we'll see if we come back to these cards in a second. Right now, we're going to pull some cards for your environment. This may look like people, situations, circumstances that you may find yourself in your outer world. What is in the environment for the Gemini at this time, please, that we need to know about? Page of Wands. Oops, this is the wrong deck. My bad. We have a Page of Wands. You are in the beginning stages of a thing, which tells me that you just ended something else, okay, which is fine. It's natural. It's part of life. Judgment. There's awareness around this. You understand that this is a big time of your life. This was a pivotal moment. What happens next is big, I'm feeling. Whatever comes next, whatever answer the universe gives you, whatever direction it gives you, right, to to take you on to the next step, the next chapter of your life, the next phase of life. It's a big deal. And in a sense, it's really, really perfect that you are in this blank state, because that means you should be open to anything, right? The possibilities here are endless. Yeah, the 10 of Cups, beautiful. The 10 of Cups is talking about emotional fulfillment. Okay, so this is moral support from your family, loved ones, your partner, your children, having a good time. And then you have the 5 of Cups. You go from the 10 of Cups to the 5 of Cups. With Judgment there, this is just telling me that you are definitely reflecting on the stark difference between having emotional fulfillment or being in love or having everything, right? Feeling happy, feeling joyful, positive, grateful, compared to that feeling of loss, the feeling of losing something, depression, emptiness, darkness. There's a difference. And with Judgment, it's saying that you're noticing the difference. For some of you, there may be 2 people in your life who represent complete happiness, love, joy, right? Light, compared to another person who is complete sadness, depression, dark, right? And you're starting to see the difference, and you're starting to understand, right? Like how when you associate with people who match your energy or who vibe on a frequency that you are on, there's a difference in your life altogether, I'm feeling. For some of you, it feels like without this person, without the sadness, you are now beginning to feel happy again and joyful again, and you're noticing that. There's just awareness in your environment. Maybe you are, as you are in this blank state, you're so open to your environment, or you're sensitive to your environment, that you're noticing everything, right? Like I'm feeling somebody moving really slowly, and as they do go about their day, as they run their errands, as they meet up with family, as they do their stuff, they're noticing the difference, right? Like from where they are now, which is maybe away from this negative circumstance, and how they feel and how they show up. They're lighter, right? They're less brought down or held down by the darkness or someone who is like that, compared to when this person was in your life, how you would show up to these things. So I don't know. It's just understanding when you're in a negative situation or in a toxic situation, when you're in a state of depression or something like that, it's this understanding of how that affects your entire being, internally and externally, compared to when you are in a happy mood, joyful mood, in a way where you have overcome depression, you are starting to feel more grateful about life again, and how that affects you and your life internally and externally. So this contrast of both. And this is in your environment somehow. So your family, your circumstances, the view that you have every day, like maybe, from your house, right? There's the view you have of your backyard, or wherever you work, what view it is. Like you're starting, even from those moments, these minute moments, it's like you're aware, right? Like you're completely self-aware, and you're aware of your surroundings at all times. And you can see these things in a contrasting way. You can see the light and the dark, the happy and the depression, in a, like you're making your own discernment or judgments about that, and what that feels to you, and how you see these things. I don't know. It's very interesting. All right. Let's see. I feel like you're no longer waiting, whereas before you were always waiting and you were always feeling let down. It's like you're finding your own happiness again. Maybe some of you are realizing that, you cannot depend on somebody else or an external circumstance to provide you with this sense of happiness. Some of you, while you are in this state of no movement, right, in this paused state, you are realizing what you want and what you don't want. You're realizing how you want to feel compared to how you don't want to feel. You're realizing that maybe you've been so down and depressed that you've been missing out on happiness and joy. Yeah, there's like no unseeing this anymore. There's no ignoring it anymore. There's no not knowing this anymore. Like once you know, you know. You can't run away from that concept anymore. Trying not to regret the time that you have spent wasting on a certain situation, It's like this chaotic, turbulent moment in life has just passed you by, and now you are sitting the morning after, right, outside drinking a cup of coffee, just like completely taken back by what just happened. And you see your surroundings, like, I have nothing left, there's nothing left. And you can only go up from here. You can only, like, there's nothing else to do in this situation anymore. It's completely done. It's completely gone. It's destroyed. It doesn't exist anymore. Like what was once just yesterday a part of your life, and it was so impactful and so urgent and important, and maybe had to do with a person as well, like they were in your life. Now they are completely gone. And they have just disappeared. It's like they never existed. That's how it feels. It's a lot to handle. It's a lot, like your journey from this point on is a lot, And I mean, obviously you can get through it, right? Like this is, of course, meant to happen. It's supposed to be this way. You don't know your future. You don't know where you're going from here. Like I said, opportunities are endless. Just enjoy the ride, Be a part of the journey. All right, we're going into more detail. We're going to break down the next 30 days for you. See what you need to anticipate, what's coming your way, what you need to know and be prepared for. What's coming through for the Gemini in the next week or two, please? Options. Definitely options. Like we said, options are going to start to show themselves because you're so open and there's so much room to fill in your energy form, in your physical world, in your heart, in your brain, in your mind, right? Like there's so much room. You can start to be creative again. You can get a side job or a real job, or, like you can travel or start, I don't know, spending more time with your family. You can start to focus on your home and maybe renovating your home, or, doing the things that you've always wanted to do, right? Like doing the things that make you happy as you were in this relationship or in this circumstance with this person, or, maybe it was a job or something like that. It was like, oh, I need to do this. I want to do that. Someday I'm going to get to this or whatever. But you just couldn't because you didn't have the bandwidth. You didn't have the time, right? Because this thing was always there. And especially if you were in a depressive mode, or there was a lot of like toxicity and darkness or whatever. I mean, that's also going to take away from your ability to do other things that you've been wanting to do. And I think that now is a good time for you to tackle some of these things, even if it's not like, if it doesn't have a long future, right? It's just something to do for the now, maybe some of you just retired even, or were like forced into retirement or something. It's like, what do we do? What do I do now? Right. So yeah, I mean, just pick something up, right? Like whatever you can do at this moment, You know, if it has to do with something around your house, or maybe fixing something about your car, or, you know, and then one thing will lead to another, will lead to another. Opportunities will start presenting themselves. People will start presenting themselves. You know, you'll start to understand or realize that you like to do a certain type of task or a certain type of job. You know, you want to bring these things to life with the magician and manifest it, and create, right? For the sake of money, or even not, right? Like you can do some of these projects because you need the money and you have the time to do that, like a side gig, or you're just being creative for the sake of it. But I mean, you're open. You're so open, you know, and soon you'll start to see the opportunities come through, right? People will start to show up, right place at the right time, say yes to some of these invitations, you know, say yes, why not, right, to some of these suggestions, and then see how that creates momentum in your life for this emotional fulfillment, to bring in people who are in your support system, reconnect with your family again, with parents, cousins, siblings, you know, get together, start a project with them, you know, those things that you would tell people like, yeah, we should do that someday. We should get this going someday, or whatever, like those types of things, because you have time for that now. And you'll start to see that this is all healing. This is all very healing, right? When you're not just focused and so consumed with this toxic, dark, like situation, you're starting to see what you've missed out on. You're starting to see how you can really feel. You know, yes, you can feel happy. Yes, you can feel joyful. Like that is so much of a realistic possibility living this life, right? Like, maybe I feel like some of you are so used to feeling shitty that you don't know what it's like to feel free and feel, I don't know, like you're really living. So this is coming to you in the next week or so, which is a lot. Okay, so it's exciting. And it's also going to help with the distraction, or with helping like not feel so lost. What's coming through in the middle of the month, please? Ace of Pentacles, beautiful. There's an actual, real, tangible opportunity. So it feels like once you've dabbled and started to clean house and, you know, work on some things or whatever, you're starting to like see that vision again. Okay, that inspiration is starting to form itself. The next goal, the next phase, the universe is starting to provide you with some of these little messages, right, to push you along the way to where you're meant to go next. And one of these things, or a few of these things, are starting to mold themselves and manifest themselves into something in your physical reality that is an opportunity for material gain, physical gain, you know, help, right? Help from another person or another institution, a give and take here. Maybe this is some way you can give back to your environment, to your community, to your family, or you're coming into contact with a partner in some way and you're working with someone here. There's reciprocal energy. There's a give and take. It's a win-win situation. What else for the middle of the month for the Gemini? King of Swords. Judgment again. Let's take a look at what Judgment is. You have the Page of Cups again. Just want to get a clarifier here. Seven of Swords. Ace of Cups. Ten of Wands. I mean, it's of course it's not smooth sailing. Of course it's not perfect, this process, right? It's exactly that. It's a process. You know, as you are working on these things, as you are diving in and really focusing on something different, on the new and, you know, the next phase or whatever. I mean, yeah, you're going to have realizations like all the time, right? Like when you're going through a transformation, when you are in this like really pivotal moment in life where you can feel and sense that in every part of your being you are changing, it's inevitable, the revelations that you have as you are molding yourself into the new. You look back, everything reminds you or gives you a little spark of a vision, of a memory that you were this way once, you felt this way once, you know, before you never would have been able to do this, before you would have never been able to meet up with these people or know this person, or I don't know, like the new, right? But it's just this back and forth contrast of how the old life was compared to how where the new life is going is completely different. And so you're in this middle part here, and throughout the way you're realizing and you're seeing the change. You're seeing where you were once blind, right? The parts that you were blindsided at or by, the things that you didn't know were going on, and now you know everything that happened before, right? And because you were so consumed, because you were so involved, you couldn't see it clearly then, but you see it clearly now. So just be patient with yourself as you are going through this, right? Like you may feel some guilt, or you may feel some resentment, or, you know, just angry at yourself for allowing you to let this happen, right? To be in that state of to have that type of life before. But, and I understand, right, that sometimes we can beat ourselves up for mistakes, and we can, you know, if we think long enough about this huge mistake that we made, we dwell on it and we are regretful. But this realization is not here. These realizations and revelations are not coming up for the sake of regret. They're coming up to show you how much you've grown, to show you how much you've changed, to show you and to provide you with lessons learned and wisdom gained, right? Like it's not meant to put yourself down and beat yourself up. It's meant to empower you because now you know better. It's meant to pick up your energy, your overall like sense of self-worth and self-love, because you are different now, because you know better now, because you're out of it, right? For some of you, even that courage that it took to come out, knowing you were going to be faced with this sense of pain to get out of it, right? That takes a lot. Okay. So this time of this month coming up, and I'm sure it's going to last longer than that, you will go through these moments. And again, it's for a reason, right? It's to show you your growth. And it's also to put it away, like to wrap up the past, put it all in a box, wrap it up really pretty, tie it up with a bow, right? And just give it to the universe and give it away and be like, thank you for these moments. Even if they felt shitty, even if you were hurt, even if you went through pain, you grew from them. And there's an appreciation that we should have even for those moments, even for those people, because without that, I promise you, without that, what is to come, you're never going to be able to, you would have never been able to show up and experience what is coming your way without having gone through this dark moment of life. Does that make sense? You needed that. You needed to go through that in order to be ready, prepared, equipped to go through what is to come. Okay. End of the month, please. Page of Swords. King of Cups. Ace of Swords. One more. King of Wands. Wow. Either there's a lot of people in your life at this time that are making themselves known, that are coming up and, you know, helping out with the situation or making their presence, or these are different facets of yourself, or both, okay? First, I'm feeling at the end of the month, you're able to really control your emotions. You're able to intellectualize your emotions as well. So you know what you're feeling, right? Whereas maybe before you had a hard time understanding the emotion, like what it was, where it was coming from, why were you having it. Now you've really mastered the emotion part, or you're mastering, and you're able to intellectualize that. And maybe there's some therapy involved here. A lot of self-reflection even involved in order to assist you with mastering these emotions. But you're able to have conversations now that are not filtered with this, like, how can I say, like this understanding or misunderstanding, right? Like if you didn't understand your emotion and why you were feeling a certain way, but you had to have a conversation, maybe you were projecting or you didn't get your point across effectively, something like that. Like now it's like you can have a conversation, deal with your emotions, talk about your emotions from a more intellectualized place instead of it being filtered by this veil, right, of not understanding what you're feeling. This is leading to this spark that we've been talking about, right? Because it just seems like you were lacking there. You know, there wasn't that fire under your belly to like really give you this sense of passion and to want to initiate action or anything like that, because you weren't feeling that at that time. At the end of the month, this King of Wands is full of fire. This King of Wands feels ready enough, equipped enough to really take advantage of this opportunity that's coming through. I want to say enough because I don't want you to think that you're completely healed. This stuff takes years, especially if you're just starting. And even then, you know, once you get to a good level of like, it's over, right? I mean, this journey of this life that we live here is a never ending healing journey. Okay. So there's always something to do, always something to heal about. But at this point, it's like, okay, you're good enough right now, right? To really get something started, to really go full force into this opportunity, into this new endeavor, new task, new phase of life. And you're super clear about it. And it just took, I think it also took this thing of like doing the revelation part that's coming through, right, for you in the next couple of weeks, as you are having these moments and these visions back and forth from the past to your present, you know, understanding those revelations. And then therefore that bleeds into you being able to understand your emotions. Once you understand your emotions, that's it. That's like the cherry on top, you know, it's complete there. Now you're able to really get that fire going with the King of Wands and do the thing. Okay. It's the lack of understanding the emotion, the lack of controlling the emotion that was preventing you from having a good direction as to where to go next, you know. But these tasks and these things that you're going to start doing in the beginning of the month will help you. It's and again, it's all a process here. Okay. So I think that at the end of the month, there's a lot of positive opportunities coming through as well. You're clear, you're ready. There's clean outlook, you know, like there's no clutter in the mind at this point. You're in control of your thoughts, you're in control of your emotions. Therefore, you're in control of your actions. And there's a lot of truth. There's a lot of truth to be known at that point, whether it's through conversation here with the Page of Swords or just your own intellectualizing and reflecting and things like that of yourself. But you're 100% sure of something here at the end of the month. There may be a lot of communication, as I said, or some research and learning something probably has to do with this therapeutic thing that you're doing. So therefore, it's like you're understanding yourself, you have a new understanding of your behaviors, your traumas, why you show up the way you do, why you attract the people you do, why you put yourself in the situations that you do, and you're ready and you're eager to make changes and for healing, of course. Okay. All right, let's see what the universe has to say. We're going to pull a couple oracle cards here just to give you a good takeaway message. If you got anything out of today's reading, please click the like button. I would really appreciate it. Or subscribe to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not an easy process. You're going to feel vulnerable. You know, you're really what's the word? Fragile at this time. And that's okay. That's natural. Don't worry about that. You may go into moments where you feel like you're really emotional and you want to cry it out, let it out, scream it out, you know. It's all for the sake of the healing, like, as we said. But I think that, I don't know. I just got this overwhelming feeling with these cards here of, you don't even know, but there is love coming through. There's something coming through. And you may not, I'm feeling really, really strongly that the thought of you going into relationship or meeting someone new or something like that is like, absolutely not. Like, you are definitely shutting that off. Okay. I feel like some of you do not want this energy of a person, relationship, love in your life right now. But usually when we don't want it is when we get it, right? But yeah, there's something, I don't know. We'll see what happens in January when I do your reading or when I do your next love reading. But this feels very impactful. It feels like my heart is full. There's depth, there is passion, there's attraction, there is sensuality. And just be careful with the feeling or the behavior of just, what is the word? It's like when people just completely engulf themselves in another person, right? You've already done that. And not to say that this person is wrong or bad, whoever is coming through next. Just have a sense of balance, right? And try not to go full force into it again. Maybe some of you have that capability or, you know, have that pattern when you go into love. And that's okay, you know, especially if it's in your makeup, right? Like the way you are. But just take it slow and think it through and think about, you know, your actions and behaviors and things as you meet this person, get to know this person. But something's coming through. There is, like, you may meet somebody here in the near future. And this person is going to be able to hold space for you. This person may also be somebody that is helping you through this healing. You're going to be able to be authentic and vulnerable with them, and they will cherish that and respect it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, this whole reading is about healing. Some of you, yeah, most of you, everybody on this that I'm reading for today is going through a healing journey right now. So, The frequency of healing supports our intrinsic ability to restore our health and wholeness by consciously using the information that comes to us through our senses and harmonizing everything accordingly. And that's how I was picking up on, as you know, you are in this blank state. You're just slow, being really slow and super aware and super sensitive to your environment. And, you know, the people in your environment, what they say, their mannerisms, their energy, you know, the places that you go to. It's just like if you are seeing life and the 3D and the physical in a whole, from like in a whole new lens. Okay, you've never seen life this way before. And that is also translating internally as well. You've never known yourself to be this way. This is new territory for you. So take your time and enjoy the journey, you know. And when the past comes up, just take that slow as well, right? But it's a whole process, and I think that you are more than capable of doing it. If you want a more in-depth, detailed reading for your specific situation, just shoot me an email. My email is in the description of the video, and we can set up a personal reading because I do those. So if you are feeling like you want more out of this reading, just let me know. All right. But I wish you all of the luck, Gemini. I am so happy to see this for you. You totally deserve to be happy and feel joy in your life. So good luck with that, and have a happy holiday season. We'll see you here on the next one, okay? Bye.